Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. For today's project, we will use these butterflies that I purchased from Dollar Tree. I think they are just so beautiful and you can decorate them as per your imagination or the color scheme you like or whatever would fit into your kitchen. So we will use 4 of them. They had stickers on the back, which I removed. We will also use wooden pieces that I also purchased from Dollar Tree. They also came with the stickers and I also did remove them. We will use wooden dowels, round ones, and these you need to purchase either at Michael's, I know Walmart has them, because you're looking for the longer stick that you can cut to size. So I will show you what dimension we will need while we are making this project. So to start, we will take 2 of those butterflies. Let's turn them upside down. And I'm using my board to align them to make sure that they are straight. And we will take this wooden piece. We will position it right at the edge, right here, and try to position it on the middle. I will lower this because I also want those 2 cutouts to be my guide. So I'm also positioning them on the middle. Now, you have an option. You could use E6000 glue and just glue them, wait a little while, and proceed with the project. Or you could actually drill holes and support it that way. Okay, so the pieces are aligned. And I will use marker or pencil to mark the pieces underneath. And the reason why I do this is because I will be using E6000 glue and I need to know how far I need to apply that glue. So I'm just gonna run it just like that, kind of all around, and I will reposition the wooden stick just like that, and I will put it to side, and I will push this to side just to make sure it adheres, and I will work now on the other side. So we will do the same thing. I'm gonna try to align this just so it is straight. Now I am gonna position the wooden stick just like that so it's straight. I will mark it again, and I'm marking this again only because I want to see where to apply the glue. Okay. I will reposition the stick. And I'm trying to find those marks. And I will place something heavy on top on both pieces, and I will let it dry, probably for an hour to 2 hours. Okay, so it looks like these pieces got glued. So now we will glue the little wooden pieces just like this. We will glue it on the bottom on both of those pieces like this. Now, before we glue them, let's measure our jars. So our jars measure approximately 4 inches from the top of the lid all the way to the bottom. And our wooden piece, it actually measures a little bit more than 11 and a quarter. So we want to make sure that however we make this, we will have enough room to kind of remove those jars from our holder. So if we glue it just like that, we should measure approximately 7 inches from the top of that wooden stick or wooden piece that we will glue. So I will mark 7 inches on both sides, and that's where I will position the next one. So we will do the same thing to both pieces, to this side and that side. So let me open my E6000 glue again. I will apply it just like that, and I will position this right at the edge. So I will glue this right here, and I will also position right at my mark, just like that. So we will do this with both pieces, and we will allow it to dry, and then we will proceed to the next step. I would just suggest to measure it just to make sure that your dimensions are the same on both sides. And that's 7 inches. So I will let this rest and we'll let this dry. I will come back and we will start putting together shelves. Okay, so both of my pieces are dry, as you can see. So now we need to prepare for our dowels. We will place them on both sides of this piece. But to make sure that our jars will fit, I am going to take the additional pieces that I have, because we're going to position them just like that. Then we will have a jar and try to position jar on the middle of this piece, just like that. Now I will position it in here on this side and draw a line. And I will do the same thing on this side. So I will position the piece of wood and I will mark a line on the other side. So when we position our dough right here, we need to make sure that we can place a jar and remove it. So we will do the same thing on the top portion. So let's place the piece. We will position the jar, and I'm looking at the bottom to make sure that it is on the middle. Now I place it on the side, just like that, and I will make a mark. I will do the same thing to this side. Put the wood and make a mark. So now we have our pieces marked. So now to place the dough, we need to measure this space. So my dimension of this piece, it's about 3/8. So I will measure from the line to the outside approximately 1/4 inch. So I'm giving additional space, about 1/4 inch, and we will do the same thing on the opposite side. 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. Now I will join both of those 1/4 inch lines, and you can see it. I can't join it, but I will make it mark on this entire piece, just like that. And I will do the same thing on this side. I don't really see the line. Here it is. So right here and right here. Okay, so we got our pieces pre-marked. And just to have a better visibility, I'm gonna do the same thing with the other lines. Okay. So as you can see, we have the space where the dough should be, and the height, it really depends on you, how high you want to position this. Now, if I place this piece of wood right here, I can also draw the line horizontally. And I will do the same thing on this side. So I'm supporting the wood right on this block, just like that, and I will draw the line. So this is where the base is gonna be. So for us to measure and position the dough, the height as we want, it really depends on you. But I think it should be the same height on both jars. So I'm gonna make mine approximately 1.25 inches. So I'm measuring right here from this square, 1.25 inches. And I will do the same thing on this side, 1.25 inches and 1.25 inches. This way I know where I position the dough, it's going to be exactly in the same place. on both sides. So now we're gonna have to drill a hole. Now, if you are not that handy with the tools, you can ask your husband, your brother, your friend, somebody else who's handy with the tools to pre-drill those holes. Now, I'm gonna start with the smaller drill just to start up the hole. And if you can see, I'm gonna position this right on the middle of this line that I created. And you don't want to drill deep hole. You don't want to go all the way through it. So it's just the startup hole. Okay. So as you can see, we got pre-drilled holes. So now we need to make them a little bit bigger because the down needs to fit right there. So now I'm just trying to make these holes a little bit bigger. Not too deep, just the bigger in diameter. Okay. And now I'm gonna go into really thick drill. And again, I don't want to make this too deep. And I will try to see if I can fit the dowel, and it does fit. It goes tight, but it fits, and that's exactly what I want. Okay. So I got two. And four. So now I will just clean this up a little bit. All around. Okay. All right, and I will make sure that I can fit that down in every single hole. And as you can see, it's standing up. Same thing here. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing to the second piece. So let me do that and I will be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I have all the holes pre-drilled. And now we need to pre-cut our dowel. So I bought few of these sticks from Home Depot. And I think I got 3 or 4, but that's not what we're gonna need. What we need to do is actually measure how long of how long of this round stick we have to pre-cut. And to measure that, we will position our piece. It would be nice to have more than 2 hands for this one, but we're going to position this just like that. And those will be our 2 shelves, just like that. So now, if we measure from one edge to the other, right where those holes are, and this one measures 12.5. Okay. This one measures 12.5. So I will have to pre-cut my pieces. I am going to pre-cut them to approximately 12 7/8. So let me put this to the side. I will take my piece and I will measure 12 7/8. Almost 13. So 12 7/8 is somewhere here. So now I will pre-cut this. And basically I'm taking my knife and I am just cutting it around. So I'm pushing a little bit to create that indentation, to create that cut. Just like that. And then you can just bend that and break it up. So I do have a little bit of sandpaper and I will just smooth out that edge. So I'm gonna cut 3 more just like it and I will be right back. Okay, so I pre-cut all 4 of them and now I will place them right here. So I'm just twisting them into those holes. Just like that. Now I will realign it with this one. Just pay attention to the orientation. As you can see, this is the bottom of the butterfly and this is the bottom of butterfly. So we will position right here. And I will do the same thing. Just to make sure that they are attached on all sides. And they are. So when you put them, this is twisting a little bit, so make sure it's adjusted so it's standing straight. And now we should be able to squeeze in our shelves. Just like that. And this how the product or our finished project is going to look like. So right now I am going to take all of this apart because I did this just to try it, to make sure that I don't need to adjust any dimensions. And I don't, because as you can see, everything fits. So right now I'm going to disassemble this. I am going to apply the glue and we're going to glue all of this together. So I am going to use my E6000 glue, and they sell this one in a large tubes. I just find that maybe it costs a little bit more for the small one, but I find that it's so much easier to work with. So what I'm gonna do, let me break this. I am gonna apply small amount of glue into each hole. Okay. So now I'm gonna position my dowels. As I'm positioning the dowels, I'm trying to kind of wipe out some of that glue. If it's spilled a little bit. Okay. Now I am gonna turn this around, making sure that all my butterflies are in the same position. And I'm matching up all of the holes. Just like that. If you have any extra glue somewhere on the side, just wipe it off, because when we paint this, you don't want this those bumps sticking out. So now I'm gonna put this straight, make sure that everything is aligned and it's not wobbly, because sometimes you have to adjust this to make sure it is straight. So now I am gonna position the shelves, and if any of those dowels will come out, don't worry about it. We can just put them back in, just like that. And you know, I forgot we need to put the glue. So I am positioning glue right on the bottom of that little piece, that little block. So now when we position our piece, just align it with the wood. Okay. Now I'm gonna place glue over here. You can see it right here. And I'm putting kind of in a corner, because I want to make sure that the shelf is really holding. So now I'm going to position the top piece just like that. And as you can see, we have our structure done. So now I am going to place my jars on the inside, just to give that extra little bit of weight. And as you can see, all three of them fit perfectly, and I have no problem putting them in or taking them out. So I'm gonna leave it just like that to dry for a few hours. After we come back, we will decorate this whole thing. Okay, so as you can see, I have this whole piece glued, the whole structure is done. Now it's going to be the fun part, really, to decorate all of this. So I am going to begin with, first of all, I am going to erase all of those marks, pencil marks. I am going to erase them because I don't know if they're going to come through the paint or not, so I will erase them. Now, as you can see, you can place 3 of these jars, and even on the bottom we can place the 3 jars. They are not going anywhere, and you can see it's very easy to remove them. So to paint this, I am going to use just the paint that I have. I just have a chalk paint, drop cloth. So I'm going to paint the entire piece, and then I will decorate the butterflies. So to paint this, of course, I'm going to place something underneath. And I will use just any type of brush that you have. So after I paint the entire piece with this paint, I will show you how it looks. And after that, we will start decorating the butterflies. So let me get busy and I will show you how this came out, and we proceed with next step. So as you can see, I painted the entire piece. I also decorated a little bit those butterflies. Now, what I did, I used just a regular acrylic paint that I purchased from MaKala's. And I used some of those small, really tiny brushes. So for the brushes, I try to pick something that I can actually get inside those grooves and kind of control it where I'm touching it. So I decorated both sides with the acrylic paint. And after that, I spray painted 2 coats semi-gloss clear. And this one I bought at Home Depot, but I'm sure that they have clear spray at MaKala's also. So I sprayed it twice, put it 2 coats. And this is pretty much what I have so far. Now, I think that this is still a little bit plain. So what I decided to do is I have those glass beads, which I'm planning to put right here. And the color from underneath, it will just peek right through it. So to do that, I am going to use E6000 glue, and I'm going to just put just a little dab of the glue in each of those places. And I don't want to make too much mess in here. And I am going to do this on both sides. Now, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I think that this will just give 3 dimension to this whole side. So as you can see that those beads, they are just about the right size for those holes, but it could be something smaller that you have, as long as you can grab it with that glue. Okay, so I'm decorating both of those pieces. Now this, you could leave it blank if that's what you like. I do have these little buttons, butterfly buttons, and I think I am gonna apply them just to give a little bit extra look, a little extra touch. So I'm gonna just place 3 of them. And again, you know, however you want to decorate it, it's totally up to you. You don't have to do exactly the way I have done it. But this is just the idea what you could do with your piece. So again, I'm gonna put those little beads. Let me just wipe this glue. As you can see, some of them are bigger than others, but the glue will hold it. Okay. All right, and my three, I don't know, I touched something here. And those three butterflies. Okay. So this is pretty much finished project. So now I can actually place my jars. And this is how this looks like. So I will fill these jars, put some labels on it, put some spices, and I will share it with you to show you how this looks like on my countertop. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please hit like, share, comment and subscribe. This really helps my channel grow. And I hope to see you soon in my next video.